What in the world inspired you to create a dating coaching business? Like, what inspired you to just say, you know what, I want to go out here and fight for other guys that were, I guess, potentially like me. I don't know the story, but I think we would love to know more about you, your dating life, and what it just really inspired you to do this.
I think for me, and it's not just with dating, it's almost, well, it's a lot of things. Like in life, when I figured something out, I have this urge, I guess we could say, or even desire to teach and help someone through it. And I'm not saying like, look at me, I'm Mother Teresa here, I'm Gandhi.
I love that
Really,
for you.
it's really, if anything, it's selfish. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy when I figured something out, and I've like, there's, you know that feeling, right? When you figured something out, it can be anything. Like you're a videographer.
Absolutely.
Well, you're a lot of things. Producer,
Don't
director, musician.
Don't do this. Stop. This is not about me.
I'm
We're
just
talking
saying.
about you.
When you solve something, when something clicks, the
Yes.
click.
Yes. And you want to tell everybody.
There's a high.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, wait, I figured something out.
Come see this.
I got to tell someone, about this. Like recently for me, I mean, it's obvious, it's always dating because that's my business and that's what I do.
Absolutely.
But I'm learning new things. Over the past 10 years of doing TripAdvice, I've learned new things about business, marketing, digital marketing, sales, right? Just all the above, like everything. And so I've had so many different clicks over the years, and still clicks about dating stuff. But just recently, I'll have clicks on things with business. And then a couple weeks ago, my friend said, "Hey, you know a lot about digital marketing. I want to start something. Can I come over and you can just like give me some advice?" I was like, music to my ears. Let's go. I love giving advice, thoughts, having conversations about stuff that I feel I know well.
Yeah.
I wonder if all people are like that. I don't know. People, I wouldn't imagine they would be. Well, it's not a very unique trait.
I think it's a time consuming trait. And what I mean by that is if you are a natural teacher, you have these moments where you just take time out of your day to do it. No real reason why. It's just, I know this. You want to know this. Of course I'm going to show you. It's just a natural knack for helping and being resourceful. So, but you hadn't gotten what I want you to get. Like, I get that you want to help people, but tell me about the linkage between dating.
Yeah. So we're getting there. So
I'm impatient, Trip, as you can see.
I had to explain that desire that's in there because that's what made everything click.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was 20, I mean, we can go real far back, but we'll just keep it somewhat recent. When I was 22, 23, I was forced to learn how to get better with women. I say forced because I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
One, like many men, I had the desire to be good with women, to want to be with attractive women. But two, I was in a situation far outside my comfort zone because I came from, so what happened was I was in Illinois my whole life up until 22 years old. And I traveled to Los Angeles to start a career in film. Did you know that? Did I tell you this before?
Yeah.
Okay, I did tell you
Well, I
this.
had to look, I'm listening.
I just don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to be a producer. I wanted to be a movie producer. And as I'm in California, and I just left all my friends and family, but mainly for this story, friends with groups of people where you could easily meet women because you have an ingrained social circle.
Yeah.
Now in LA, where one of the hardest cities to meet people in the world because of the way that the whole city is set up.
Yeah.
You can go to LA, it's one of the biggest cities in the country, and you feel it's post-apocalyptic because everyone's in their cars and you don't really see people.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we're in LA, really hard to meet people. I am terrified, beyond terrified, to go up to a woman and start a conversation, especially one I found myself attracted to. And so I was at this point where the desire was strong, It's like a big disconnect, right? You have this
Yeah.
strong desire, but you need to build this bridge to get there.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out how to build this bridge while being super shy and not really good with women, having no idea or having a clear understanding of like what women were attracted to. I thought I did, but I was wrong. Okay. So unless you have any more questions about this, long story short, I solved it. I figured it out. And we're back to what I was saying earlier.
Got it.
The clicks. I was like, I get how to do this. And also, it was not just the clicks, but it was all the stuff that I learned when I was learning from other coaches at the time and in the pickup artist scene at the time and the books that were out. It was just not simple. Like nothing was simple.
Yeah.
It was a lot of unnecessary work, right? Of course, shit takes work. But there's like a lot of unnecessary work in order to get results in dating.
Absolutely.
So this is where I will say I pat myself on the back for. Here's where my ego comes out.
Here we go.
I think I am really good at explaining to people and dumbing down things to a degree where someone can understand it.
Got it.
At this point in my life, I'm the best at doing that in the category of women. Business, that's probably comes in second. Like I could definitely explain business, but I still have so much more to learn there. But with women and dating, I've been doing it for so long that it's even more second nature. But at that time, I really felt I can explain this to a guy in the simplest terms and he can get quick results.
And obviously that's happened.
Well, the story goes, it was a rainy Los Angeles evening. And I had drinks with a guy who I met through, I don't know, another friend. I actually forget how. But I met this guy for drinks because at this time, this is pre-trip becoming a dating coach.
Yeah.
But post learning it. So like I learned it. I've started a podcast with a friend for fun, just giving dating advice. We called it Dudes Talking About Chicks. It was not to make a living or business or anything. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm over being a movie producer. I did not like the industry anymore. It's a really terrible industry. I still believe it to this day.
Yeah.
It's just brutal. This is pre-Me Too, by the way. So that's even made it even worse. But I wanted to get in the music industry. I got drinks with this guy to network, to learn more about the industry himself, from him. So we get drinks. We're talking about the music, whatever, I have no memory of this at all. But the memory I have was what happened at the end of the conversation, right before I was about to walk back to my car to go home. He goes, so what else do you do? Do you have any hobbies? Do you do anything else interesting? And I said, yeah, I have a podcast. Oh, cool. What's the podcast about? I give dating advice to guys. And he goes, oh, interesting. Do you mind if I ask you for some advice? I was like, yeah, for sure. He asked me a question, whatever it is. Probably, I think it was like a friend zone question.
Yeah.
And I just vomited out. Just like, okay, blah, 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 this is what you got to do. This is what happened. This is how it's supposed to work, blah, 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 blah. And he was kind of like deer in headlights afterwards, like, Dan, that was pretty good advice. And I was like, thanks, man. And I was like, all right, man, nice to meet you. Take it easy. I leave the bar, walk outside. There's a light drizzle. You could see the light drizzle in the headlights that were coming towards me in the street as I crossed it. And I'm walking on the sidewalk, halfway to my car, and a non-literal lightning bolt hit my head. It just hit me out of nowhere. I was like, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
This is it. Not music, not movies. At this time, I was doing this podcast with my buddy. I was so passionate about it. I loved it. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I loved creating media. Obviously, I wanted to be a movie producer.
Of course.
So I enjoyed creating media. And I really enjoyed talking about social dynamics, female-male dynamics, relationships, mating, all that stuff. So I was like, this is it. I was like, this is what I got to do. So My girlfriend at the time was a graphic designer. I get in my car, my 1997 Honda Civic.
I mean, classic.
Stick shift.
Very classic.
5-speed.
I mean,
just saying.
You can do some things with that.
You can do some things with it. AEM short ram intake,
Okay.
which gives it this nice airy sound when you hit the clutch and
Okay.
switch gears. Anyway, again, my car, I call my girlfriend, who was an entrepreneur herself because she was a graphic designer. I said, what would you think if I became a dating coach? Not for permission, but I wanted to get her
Like
opinion.
your idea.
Like,
Just
what do
a
you think of
business
this?
person to business person.
I got to give it to her. We are not together anymore, but she immediately, without hesitation, said, I love this idea. I'll build a website. Which, by the way, in 2010, if you want to build a website in 2010,
Man, it was so tough.
first of all,
What are you going to use?
Do you remember how much it cost? The Wix wasn't really around.
No, Wix wasn't around. There was no Squarespace. WordPress had just kind of started being used and built.
Yes, but you needed to have a developer.
Actually had to have someone code it. So it was thousands of dollars just to get a website built.
Like my girlfriend at the time would charge minimum $5,000 to build a nice but simple website.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, this is amazing. By the way, this is when websites were a thing. Whole tangent here we don't have to go into. Have you realized that websites just don't really matter anymore?
A lot of my work, I mean, some high profile work I've gotten that I would think I was required to have a website. They mainly want your social media.
Exactly.
So crazy.
Nowadays, you don't need a website.
At all.
You needed a website.
Yeah.
In 2010.
For sure. That was the only way people were going to find you.
2017.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, got lucky there because the nicer your website, the more people are going to...
You look more reputable.
Yeah. Take you seriously. So over the next year, as I kind of figured out how am I going to market this? How am I going to get clients? How am I going to make this something I can just do?
Yeah.
And what was cool was it was so organic. It didn't come from wanting to be super wealthy or like, oh, I felt like, do I consider myself an entrepreneur? Kinda, but I don't know if I'm an entrepreneur. I started a business. To me, like an entrepreneur is someone who's like starting multiple businesses.
And they have multiple streams of income. Yeah. Like real estate and that kind of
what makes money, right?
Yeah.
That's not why I started it.
You were passionate about it.
So passionate about it. I was like, if I can just make a living off of this, I can feed myself and just buy the things that I need, I will be happy. So, where would you like? Any questions so far? I mean, we can keep going, but that was the inception.
Yeah.